In today's review, we're going to be going hands-on with a glove I love, the PIG Gear Full Dexterity Tactical Gloves. What's up, Airsofters? My name is Lane, and welcome back to the BB Warrior. We're here to help you have a better time, both on and off the airsoft field, through our educational content, and if you enjoy videos like these, would love it if you joined our community by hitting that subscribe button down below, and while you're at it, make sure to hit that bell icon next to it for updates when we post brand new videos every single Friday here on the channel. Now, if you think about it, in airsoft, the only thing that you do that doesn't involve your hands in one way or another is moving. However, every other thing that you're going to be doing on the airsoft field is going to involve your hands in one way or another. And that's really what made me appreciate the PIG gloves, is that you have so much dexterity with your hands. You can feel what you're doing. Whether it's shooting your rifle, reloading, switching to a handgun, throwing grenades, you're going to want to be able to accurately feel what you're working with, because it's going to make you much more effective. When you're able to have like a tactile feel of what you're doing, you just feel a little bit more confident. You can make sure that you're doing everything right the first time, and you're not struggling to find something. You're not struggling to find, like the slide catch on your handgun in the dark. You're not struggling with anything like that. And that's what I really like about the PIG gloves. Now, talking about these ones specifically, they have really thin palms, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But because they're so thin, you're able to feel things fantastically. Now, the AR is admittedly a pretty ergonomic system. It's not hard to work in AR. The fire selector is in a really easy place to hit with your thumb. The magazine release, well, just stick your hand or stick your trigger finger forward and just, press down the button. I think what kind of separates good gloves from bad gloves is using handguns, because that's where it starts to get a little bit more complicated. Getting a nice grip on the frame, making sure that you can feel everything, that's where you're going to notice a bad glove is truly bad. So for example, this is my TM G17. It's got a PTS Atom slide, Ace 1 RMR, then a stippled frame, just a standard TM frame. And I really like these gloves because I get a nice solid purchase on the handgun, but at the same time I can still feel everything, whether I'm pulling the magazine out of the gun when I hit the magazine release, when I'm trying to hit the slide release, anything like that. These are just super easy to use gloves, and I have a really tactile feeling of everything that I am touching. In fact, I can feel the actual stippling job on here while I'm wearing these gloves right now. So that's just to give you a general example. Now, there are a couple other features that I really like about the PIG gloves, is that the trigger finger as well as your thumb, they are touchscreen compatible, which is cool if you're using something like the Blue Fox Tracker app, or you're just trying to get those tactical selfies on the airsoft field. It's just really convenient to be able to use, any sort of touchscreen device, anything like that while you're using your gloves. I'm also a huge fan of the wrist. There's not a lot of material here. It does have a Velcro closure, which even for someone who kind of has thin wrist, it'll stay on there nice and secure. For reference, I'm 6'2", 175 pounds. I don't have the largest hands out there, and a medium fit me absolutely perfect. They're a little tight when I first got them, but after like 2 days of playing pickup games, they started to feel fantastic and conform to my hand perfectly. Talking about some other small features on here, they do have some bar tack stitched 550 cord right here. Just makes them easier to hang them off of other things. Overall, I think that these are just stellar gloves. Now, something that you may have noticed, and I know that some people are going to bring up in the comments, so I want to address it, is, Lane, what about protection from BBs? And while that is a pretty valid concern, I generally kind of brush that off, because if I can have a glove that will allow me to, feel my weapon system and be able to like really control that and feel as comfortable as if I wasn't wearing gloves, to me that is way more important than protecting my knuckles from a BB hit. Because think about how often you're going to be handling your weapon. Probably like 95% of the time while you're playing, versus how many times have you gotten shot in the hand. I have gotten shot in the hand, even with like really nice gloves with protection, like Oakley's, some of the impact ones from Mechanics. It still kind of sucks, so I kind of just got over it, because I wanted to have, a little bit more control. I feel like with some of those gloves, you really lose some of the range of movement, with your hands. So that's why I really like the PIG gloves. They're nice and thin, as you can see. There's a little bit of protection above your knuckles, just like a little bit of foam, but nothing too crazy, so you can still stick these in your hands. Try doing that with a pair of Oakley gloves. Overall, I just think that these gloves are fantastic. They're a little bit pricier than other options out there on the market. These are about like low 40s, if I remember correctly. And if you'd like to purchase these gloves, which I highly recommend them, there will be a link down in the description below to where you can check them out on Amazon. But I just love these gloves, guys. Again, it is something that not a lot of players think about, and not a lot of people put a lot of effort into. They'll just pick up something super cheap and be good to go. But overall, I think that it's really advantageous to have a nice pair of gloves like these ones from Patrol Incident Gear. They make a couple of different varieties of these as well. I think they start at like 25 bucks. And as you start to go higher up, you get more features. I just figured that, you know, I'm going to be sending the money. Might as well buy the nicest pair possible and not have to worry and just have all those additional features. Gloves are kind of in this category, in my opinion, where they're semi-disposable. What do I mean by that? Well, they're not being thrown out every couple of games or being changed like non-rechargeable batteries, but at the same time, they're not like an AEG where they're going to last you for years. I've accepted that even the best gloves out there are going to rip or they're going to tear. It really depends on how you use them, but in my time doing, you know, shooting with real firearms as well as just, you know, playing airsoft with these, they have held up fantastically. There's no damage that I've noticed on these. You know, there's a little bit of loose fabric here and there, but that's just what you're going to get from usage with any gloves out there. So to recap, I think that these gloves from PIG are fantastic. I can feel everything as if I'm not wearing gloves at all. And at the same time, you know, everything, you know, they're just low profile, which is something that I really appreciate. I can put my hands in my pockets if it's getting cold. I can, you know, I can work with anything. I can reach my hand down in pouches if I need to. Overall, I just think that these are fantastic gloves. While they're a little bit pricier than some other options on the market, I really think that the money is well spent. And again, they're going to last you a while, especially for, you know, like airsoft and shooting usage, like I personally use them for. But that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed. Again, if you'd like to pick up these gloves for yourself, there will be a link down in the description below to where you can check them out. But if you enjoyed today's video, you know, I'd love it if you joined our community by hitting that subscribe button down below. And while you're at it, make sure to hit that bell icon next to it for updates when we post brand new videos every single Friday here on the channel. Make sure to check us out on social media. Links for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter will be in the description below. This has been Lane from the BB Warrior talking about the Patrol Incident Gear FDT gloves, and I will see you all next time.